On this day in 1580, Sir Francis Drake returned to England after completing his circumnavigation of the globe, the first Englishman to achieve the feat. On this day in 1687, the Parthenon in Athens was badly damaged when Venetian bombardment struck Ottoman gunpowder stored inside. On this day in 1815, Russia, Austria, and Prussia formed the Holy Alliance, pledging to suppress revolutionary movements in Europe. On this day in 1907, New Zealand made history by granting women the right to vote, one of the earliest nations to do so. On this day in 1934, the great ocean liner RMS Queen Mary was launched in Scotland. On this day in 1960, the first televised U.S. presidential debate was held between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon, reshaping political campaigning. On this day in 1969, the Beatles released Abbey Road, one of their most iconic albums. On this day in 1980, the Iran-Iraq War began as Iraq launched a full-scale invasion of Western Iran. On this day in 1983, Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov averted possible nuclear war by correctly identifying a missile warning as a false alarm. On this day in 1997, world chess champion Garry Kasparov was defeated by IBM's Deep Blue, a milestone in artificial intelligence. On this day in 2020, heavy clashes broke out between Armenia and Azerbaijan in Nagorno-Karabakh, reigniting a long-standing conflict. On this day in 1181, Saint Francis of Assisi was born. On this day in 1888, poet and Nobel laureate T.S. Eliot was born. On this day in 1898, composer George Gershwin was born. On this day in 1936, South African anti-apartheid leader Winnie Madikizela-Mandela was born. On this day in 1948, singer and actress Olivia Newton-John was born. On this day in 1981, tennis legend Serena Williams was born. On this day in 1902, Levi Strauss, founder of Levi's jeans, passed away. On this day in 1956, aviation pioneer William Boeing died. This day in 2008, Hollywood legend Paul Newman passed away. Fun fact, on this day in 1983, the world unknowingly came close to nuclear war. But one man, Stanislav Petrov, trusted his instincts and declared a missile warning a false alarm. His decision is often credited with saving millions of lives. Follow for more moments in history.